and welcome to today's recorded video. Today is Saturday the, I have no idea, 3rd of August. So I am officially not a Stampin' Up demonstrator anymore. That's not to say I won't still be using Stampin' Up products, because I will in amongst other things. So yeah, today I am using retired product. I'm sorry, but you may have it, and if not, you could use something similar. So let me flip the camera down and I will show you what I'm using. So I'm using Little Dreamers. This retired at the beginning of the current annual catalogue, so you may well have it. It's a bundle. It was a bundle. The reason I've decided I'm using this today is because my next door neighbour is due to give birth to their new baby, which is predicted to be a boy. Fingers crossed, because I'm using Balmy Blue. And it's a cesarean birth, so it should happen not this coming week, but early the week after. Although apparently it may arrive a little bit early. Anyway, so I'm going to use this lion because I think it is the cutest thing, and I thought it would just be appropriate for the birth of a new son. I'm going to be mixing it with the, what do we call it? Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder, which is huge. This is current. Now, I'm going to be using it. So I've got a Balmy Blue base. I've then got a white layer, a Balmy Blue layer, and then another white layer. And I'm going to be using it so that it brings focus to this area, which is where I'm going to have my image. However, before I do that, I want to do some blending because I want the focal to be really emphasized. So I'm going to take that doesn't need to be there, that's for the lining. I'm going to take my Balmy Blue and my Balmy Blue brush. I don't have a brush for every colour. A lot, but not every. Ooh, that's not good. Hey-ho. I used this earlier in the week and it's got sticky on it, but it'll do for what I need. So I'm going to add some Balmy Blue here before I pop it through the embossing folder. So I'm going to start off the page just to make sure that we're not over egging, and then bring it on. Balmy Blue is a very, very light blue, and it's a gorgeous blue, and it's a perfect baby blue. If you don't have Balmy Blue, Pool Party would be a really nice baby colour, baby boy colour as well. Obviously, we've now got Bubble Bath, which I always want to call Bubblegum, and Pretty in Pink, which would be perfect for girls as well. And I will be making a card for the new arrival's sister, because I don't want her to feel left out. I'm also planning, and I may show you along the way, to do an album for baby's first N months. And the paper that I've got does have pink in it as well, so I'm hoping I can do something for the daughter too. The family are a really lovely couple. Their daughter is just wonderful, which says it means a lot when I say that, because I'm really not that heavily into children, but she is very cute. So I'm going to pop this in here so that it's kind of there. Let's go make sure I'm well in. This is 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. Maybe come in a little, across a little bit more, because you can see here where it's all going to go lumpy bumpy, and I have got it the right way up, yes. So you can move this around so that you can have it where you want that image to be embossed, or I say the image, the dots to be embossed. Let's go reasonably square. So I'm going to go there, so I'm slightly over halfway on the dots. Oh, I've just set up a zoom. It's not a brilliant zoom, but it is a zoom, so you can just about see where those dots are. So, oh, I've just had a thought. I just need to check something. It's one of those mornings. Hello. Yes, it is. I just wanted to check that the audio was working. My computer's done a few updates, and sometimes I lose the audio when it does updates. It's a bit weird. Anyway, we're fine. You should be able to hear me. So, the big cut and emboss, and I need the top plate. So I've got the base plate, the number 1 plate, and a cutting mat, or cutting plate. So for 3D, that's what we need. Oh no, we need a 1 and a 4. Need a 1 and a 4 for a 3D. That's a 4. Although I often use a cutting plate, and it seems to work, so who knows. Anywho. Use whatever sandwich works on your machine. The machines are all slightly different tension. I mean, not intentionally. It's just, you're never going to get a machine that is exactly the same tension as every other machine, because there are too many movable things. By which I don't mean moving. I mean things that aren't necessarily always going to be exactly the same. So, look. And we've got that nice blue circle there, or semicircle there. Really love that embossing folder. Sorry, I saw something weird out of the window. Right, so I now need a scrap, and it's a new piece of card. I know, it's not a scrap, it's a new piece of card. But occasionally one needs to have a new piece of card. And my Memento ink, which is in an uninked ink pad. So it's about half a bottle of Memento ink refill. Not my original idea. It was, I believe, Lisa Curcio in the States who tried this first. It should be all right. Ooh, except will it fit on? Better off on that, I think. But it does mean that you get a nice crisp image first time round. In fact, let me show you the difference. So I'll do the original Memento ink pad. Of course, it will stamp perfectly because it's just going to. Oh, apart from the fact there's a hair on it. Not anymore, the hair is gone. So that's that, and I'll show you these once I've done both of them. And if I use this, now I think I need to re-ink this. I did it ages ago, so I made up the pad ages and ages ago, but I think I am now at the point where I need to re-ink it. It looks all right, but okay, I can see a difference. I don't think it's going to show up on camera, but I will try. So let's go into Zoom. Yeah, I don't think it's going to show, but this is the original ink pad. This is the uninked ink pad with the ink in it. This has got graining on it where this hasn't. So it's not, for this, a huge difference. Where you will notice a difference, actually, let's try it on that. So this is quite a solid sentiment. So let's try it with that, bear with me, which is where you're more likely to see a difference. Would have been so much better had I not inked the edge of the ink pad as well. So that's the original ink pad. And of course it needs re-inking, so it's not coming out well. That'll be the problem. Anyway, trust me, Trust me, I'm an ex-demo. It does make a difference. So I'm just going to cut this out. But it does at least confirm that I need to re-ink my uninked ink pad, if you see what I mean. Right, I have pulled out wild wheat and pecan pie. I'm just going to test the colours on a scrap, just to make sure that I have got the colours that I want. So, yep, I think I have. So this will be for most of the lion. There isn't much else that's got that undertone. It's actually quite a realistic lion colour, because they do have that kind of green undertone. That's dark pecan pie. So I'm going to do his mane in pecan pie, and that's light pecan pie. Okay, so, and the end of his tail will be in pecan pie as well. I'm going to start with light wild wheat and just colour the whole of the image. This is not an image that needs beautiful, beautiful colouring. It is a cartoonesque image, which you can do as much or as little with as you want. You can just do block colour. I'm going to do a little more than just block colour, but not a huge amount more. So we've got our lion's face. I won't go into zoom, I'll just bring that up. And I'm going to add some shading with the dark wild wheat. And I will then go back in with the light wild wheat to blend that out. So anywhere where there's going to be something shadowing, and we'll just do a little bit in his ear. He has two of them, not our Pepper Purpot cat. So I have had some really lovely cards from loads of people saying how sorry they am that they've heard that I'm giving up being a demo. That may look as if it's not shaded, but when it's dry it will fade back. It is pure health issues. I have learnt, finally, it's only taken me 64 years, I have finally learnt that if I start getting weird symptoms, I need to listen to my body. Otherwise I get stress-related illnesses. I was off work with shingles for 9 weeks. I had breast cancer, as I have shared often. Breast cancer obviously doesn't just have a stress trigger. I don't know why I'm not colouring that, but anyway, I will be. But stress can be a factor. I've had labyrinthitis, which can have a stress factor, all sorts of things that can just be little alarm bells but I ignored the problems leading up to those. In fact, you can probably see better now. Where's my mouse gone? Is it just me that sometimes your mouse just disappears? Oh, there you are. So, can you see that there is a little bit of shading around his head? Anyway, so I have been developing a range. Why go for just one thing? A range of, I'm actually going to come over there as well and then blend that into the belly. And I'm going to go round his belly. So yeah, there's been all sorts of weird things happening, and I think the real kicker for me was having decided that I really needed to resign for the sake of my health. I then developed what appears to be atrial fibrillation. So I now carry an ECG monitor with me on the back of my phone. It weighs a ton, let me tell you. And we're waiting for the next session or issue to arise so that we can track exactly what's happening. Of course, you know, it's going to have the placebo effect of I'm not going to have another issue, which is fine too, but I have seen a specialist and he said there's nothing physically wrong with my heart that he can see with, you know, ultrasound and things. There is, other than some damage which we know happened during chemo, he's very happy with how everything is looking. So we're just waiting now to see what my heart is actually doing during an episode. Happy days. So I've got a zoom now. So there we go. So you can see that this is quite a lot paler because that's just had one layer of the light wild wheat. Everything else is a little darker because it's had at least 2 layers and some dark. I don't want to go too dark with my pecan pie, so I'm going to put the dark on first. I'm going to start with the tail, which is going to be just a dark pecan pie. Now, I am parking the fact that a lion cub does not get a mane the moment it is born. Just saying, you know. It's just not realistic, but it's cute, so that's fine. So I've just drawn in where it's meeting the head, the lion's head. So yes, as the heart issues arose after I had made the decision to resign, but before I had actually done so, I think it's significant. Happily, a couple of the issues, so particularly the tinnitus, which I had developed, which was almost debilitating when it was at its worst. It's still evident. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, but it is a lot better than it was. Pecan pie finger. And that's just been in the last few weeks. There we go, and pecan pie finger. So, I'm actually going to pull light balmy blue. Yes, for the star, which I am then going to colour with Wink of Stella. And of course it will have a white surround when I die cut it, which will keep it away from blending too much into the background if that's where the balmy blue blending has happened. By blending I mean ink blending, not blender pen blending. Oh, I'm having such a brain fuzz this morning. So, one thing I can tell you, because it was announced before I resigned, whichever you want to say, is that from the 6th of August, not April, we're in August, there's going to be a 15% off selected designer series papers from the annual catalogue. So do go and have a look at those. Obviously shop with whomever you wish, wherever you are in the world. So let me see if that sparkles at all. In fact, I've got a zoom. Does it sparkle? Not so to notice on camera, but it is very sparkly in real life. I'm going to put some more on. The other thing that you could use to paint this is the Pearl Effects, which you could use either white with a little bit of balmy blue added in, or the silver. But I want something that's quick, because this is a video that is already 19 minutes long. That is normally a quick video. Right, okay, so let's grab the... Now this bundle will be going on to my Facebook D-Stash group. Ooh. 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 I might... No. Yes. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So yes, they will be on my Facebook D-Stash group. So, or it will be on my Facebook D-Stash group. So if you would like it, you can get it there. I'll put the link in the description bar of the video, and it will be under media album bundles. Now I know that Stampin' Up have retired their vellum, but I don't care, because I still have some, because I love it. Right, so my mini cut and emboss, I've got my little lion. Once this is die cut, it won't take long to finish the card. Oh, I'll do this separately. Let's not tempt Providence. Now you can die cut first, if you would rather. I don't know why I'm closing it, because I do need to do some more die cutting. So that's my little lion, my not lion cub. Get rid of that because it's used to death now. Get rid of the little bits out of the die and pop that back in place. Hopefully it goes the other way up. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to cut some clouds, and I actually want 3 because I like uneven numbers. So I'm going to, let's pop that on there. I feel like I have no brain this morning, which I probably don't, you know. So I think today is going to be a perfect lawn cutting day, lawn mowing day. It is very long, so it needs cutting. We've had lots of hot weather. We had some torrential rain, and of course that means my grass has grown. Yeah, I think 2 large and a small. Now vellum is always a bit tricksy when it comes to fixing it to your project, so I'm going to be putting these behind my little lion so I can stick them to the lion and hide the adhesive that way. So that's rubbish. It goes in the non-recyclable, because although vellum is classified as paper in scrapbooking and card making terms, it isn't in recycling terms, certainly not in the UK. Right, okay, I've buried everything I need, obviously, so I will be doing a sentiment. So that's my, and I know I normally do a 10th fold. I happen to have a half sheet of balmy blue that already had a score line in it, so I'm using it. So this is going to go here. We're going to have a little cloud peeking out there, and a little cloud peeking out there, and another little cloud peeking out there. And I'm wondering, I'm going to start by doing it on a bit that's going to be covered. Yes, so I'm adding some Wink of Stella on top of my clouds just to help them pop a little. Probably need to open a new Wink of Stella because it's getting a little bit dry, although on vellum actually a slightly drier Wink of Stella is a good idea. So if you follow me on Instagram or indeed on Facebook, you will see that this is August, obviously, and I am taking part in the 100 squats a day for cancer research. So if you fancy sponsoring me, that would be great. You can find all the links for that on my Instagram page, and that would be fan-dabby-dozy. So, do I want them I want this lifted off. The question is whether I want the clouds lifted off. I think I'm going to do a bit of both. So, let's have... So I'm going to end up using more dimensionals than I would use were I not sticking clouds to the back of the lion. So that's going to go there. And then the other... Actually... No. I was thinking I'd have that one flat to the paper, but I'm not. It's fine. My brain is kind of going tick, 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 tick. I'm going to stick all this together because it's beginning to annoy me that it's not. So, liquid adhesive. If you are enjoying this, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Do remember that if you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those below the description bar, and I will get back to you. I am up to date with my replies. And even, you know, if you're saying, oh gosh, that was such a cute card, I will still reply. I will be polite and say thank you very much, glad you enjoyed it. All words to that effect. And it's not an automated thing, I do them myself. I sit down and I just have a little session going through them because I like connecting with other people. It's why I'm keeping my YouTube going. Right, so that's better. So that's he's going to go there, and this one is going to go actually underneath, I think. But I want it flat to the paper. So to get it flat to the paper, I need to stick it to the bottom of the dimensional, or in this case, dimensionals. We can go a little bit further out with that. Mini dimensional there. And I am going a bit overboard with these. You don't need this many! Honest, you don't. Right. So let's take those two off. Turn him over so I can have a proper look. Perfect. Okay. Oh, we've got swallows sitting on our television aerial. I can hear them. They make the most amazing noise. They sort of chirrup away to each other. And it's just cute. So, I want the small cloud deliberately coming over the layers. That's a little straighter, so let's make it be a little straighter. There we go. Right. I have these iridescent faceted gems, which are gorgeous. And I'm just going to add a few around my image. That's a baby one. Go in there. So I've got my little triangle there. That is causing me some angst, so I'm going to curl it down rather than it was curling up. Okay, so that's the outside of my card done. Do I want a sentiment on the outside? I think it's going to be too much. So that will be a no. Now, I know I say often I do not like the look of multi-purpose glue on the back of the smooth white, and yet that's what I did to stick the embossed piece down. That is because with it having been embossed, I don't want to squish the embossing, and it's already got texture, so it's not a flat surface, so it's not going to be as obvious. Right, final bit is to pick a sentiment, and I think we're going to go for the classic congratulations on your new little one. I must clean my blocks, and I'm going to do that in balmy blue, and then I'm going to pop some little bits of what I would call frou-frou stamping on the inside. And I should say I'm fairly confident that my neighbour doesn't follow my channel. Otherwise she'll know that she's getting this. And actually I want an envelope and I'm going to actually bottom corner, no, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to hand deliver, so it really doesn't matter what I put where. So a little cluster of stars in the top corner, and this is smooth white, so I'm going to use my seal to adhere this to the inside of the card, and then all I need to do is to wait to hear that the little one has arrived safely, and then I can pop this in. By which time, hopefully, I will also have started and finished making the scrapbook, because I'm going to do a mini album for them. So there you are. And as I say, I will be popping this stamp set onto my DStash site, and it will be there waiting for you when this goes live, fingers crossed, assuming nobody else has grabbed it in the meantime. Super! Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a retired set, but it's still an idea for a new baby. You could change that image very easily, but I just like the fact that we've got that little focal point that's encouraged or made more obvious with the embossing folder. I think it's just a perfect embossing folder for that. So anywho, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I will see you live on Tuesday, God willing. Until then, be safe, be happy, be healthy. Bye for now.